BABA, which is how I say it, Build America, Buy America, is essentially the law that was enacted as part of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. And it requires that federal financial assistance programs for infrastructure use U.S.-made iron, steel, construction materials, and manufactured products. So infrastructure includes projects with public functions such as roads, highways, bridges, electrical transmission facilities, broadband infrastructure, and buildings, and so on. So under BABA, the requirements for the categories that I mentioned are as follows. And this is where the devil is in the details for sure. But at a high level, iron and steel, all the manufacturing processes from initial melting stage through application of coatings must occur in the U.S. For manufactured products, all products must be manufactured in the U.S., and the cost of its components must be manufactured in the U.S. at greater than 55% of the total cost. So there is a little bit of a science project at times to figure out whether or not your supply chain breakdown satisfies that 55% rule. And then for construction materials, all the manufacturing process must occur in the U.S. And over time, we've received more guidance that further defines those manufacturing processes that must occur in the U.S. For example, fiber optic cable is defined actually as a construction material, and the further guidance definition tells us that the cabling, the jacketing, the stranding, and the optical fiber, those processes must occur in the U.S. And finally, in general, agencies have the authority to waive application of these BABA requirements on the following basis. If there's a domestic non-availability, if there's an unreasonable cost, or a waiver may be issued if it's in the public interest. And so each specific agency would be contacted and consulted to determine whether or not a waiver is necessary. But it's very clear within the Infrastructure Act and BABA that the intent was to reduce and issue more limited waivers. So I don't think we can expect to see broad waivers in perpetuity. And finally, I just want to point out that BABA applies to federal financial assistance award programs, and this is separate and distinct from federal procurement. You may hear BAA, which is technically the Buy American Act, which has been around since the 30s. So those rules actually govern federal procurement buying for its own use. So there is some distinction there.